Yes, it does. I would say it's part of the heart of District 1, right down the street from where we're sitting. You say that you're excited. I'm just excited as you are to be able to be a part of this. Not only to be a part of this by being the councilman that serves this area, but I have roots in St. James as well. My grandmother, she grew up in that church. Her parents came out of that church. So I have a little stake in that, and it gives me great joy to be able to be a part of this process on three different sides. Family having a stake in that church, being a councilman right now and seeing this process go through, but also being able to share this experience with my students because I teach African American Studies out at Hammond High. And for them to be able to see that a church that has been standing for 158 years, we thank God for the vision that Reverend Daggs had when he came here. To be able to move forward in a time as that, such as 1867, to be able to progress to where they are today. In the climate and time in which we live, so many feel the need to erase our history. And our history is just as important as any history because it all plays a big role in what's going on in our lives. I tell my students all the time, in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from. And I don't want that jewel to be lost by the wayside. One thing that we've lost a lot in our community is we don't get together as families anymore as much. We don't have family reunions, so we have no one passing on traditional stories of things that happen from this generation to the next generation. And I don't want that to get lost in the fluff. We need to keep that on the forefront of the next generation's mind. The price that was paid for us to be able to have certain things that we have. And I think that St. James played a big pivotal role in a lot of the makeup here in the city of Hammond from the Caucasian side as well as the African American side. So that information, that nugget, that piece needs to be preserved where the legacy can continue here. The deposits that was made, the lives that have been changed because of those doors being open where they are. Thanking that the Kate family for stepping up and assisting Daggs them along the way to be able to provide property in different places that they were able to worship until they got their central worship location. And that played a big role here in the city of Hammond. A lot of people don't know that because they don't study the history. And I think putting that marker there will catch the attention of a lot of people that pass through the neighborhood. It'll catch the attention of a lot of folks that visit Hammond to be able to know that, hey, there's a historical spot there. There's a landmark there. Let's go see what that landmark has to say. And reading that marker will be just a little small piece to open up their minds to go into and investigate and read to find out more about St. James and how St. James played a significant role here in the city of Hammond. Been picking the pot. I've been dropping little pieces out there over the last couple of weeks to get people attention, to let them know about what we're trying to do, how we're going to try to do it. And I'm going to reach out to them starting next Sunday by sending out a communication to let people know the part that they can play. And I'm not going to just be talking about it. I'm going to be about it because I'm going to make the first $100 donation in honor of my grandmother's name to get people involved in this process, that we could preserve this heritage, that we can build a strong foundation. And I think a project such as this will bring a lot of people together. I think right now in the climate and time that we're living in, people need some type of hope, and they need something right now that they can build off of that's positive in order to move our culture, in order to move this climate forward in a better way. So I'm going to be, I'll use the word solicited. I'm going to be asking, even if I have to beg, I'm going to shake that can until we receive everything that we need to make this vision come to pass. And I stand on God's word and his promises. And I know that he would not give us anything that he's not going to help us carry through. And I know that we're going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think. So I'm standing on that foundation. I'm standing on that because this is the cornerstone. It says St. James AME Church, originated by C. Daggs in 1867, built by Reverend W.S. Coffey in 1904. Reverend O.J. LeBouf, P.E., and R.T. Reverend C.S. Smith Bishop, and they had trustees on here, last name Carter, Gibson, another Carter, Jones, and Hayes.
And this one over here?
And this is when it was incorporated and I guess rebuilt.
Now this is not the original site of the church.
If I'm not mistaken, it's on here somewhere the original site was, but this is where in 25 where they erected this particular building that's standing right now. If I could be wrong, but somebody could correct me on it. But it shows here Greater St. James. That's when the name was changed to Greater St. James, and incorporated and built in 1925 by Reverend P.W. Baptist.
You see the Rick's names on there?
I see Carter. I see Louis Daggs. I see Cooper Ricks.
And Evans. His
A.C. Evans, the architect. I would say.
Descendant is coming here in November.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to be meeting with
on my watch. I want to make sure that this is done. And I always like to let everybody know, it doesn't matter how late you get in the game as long as you finish. You may have got the baton late, but the race ain't over. So we need to make sure that we keep this fire lit. You know, as you were stating, you were told this was the original bell that went up on the church. If that bell then been through a many hurricanes, many storms, but that bell is still here. That bell has significance connected to this church, connected to this community. The bells were rung to let you know that somebody passed away. It was rung for many other different reasons, but that's what the bell stood for. We got to continue to ring the bell so people will be able to understand the rich legacy, the rich heritage that we have right here, sitting right here in our community, right here in our town, and I'm just glad to be a part of what's going on right now. These two older homes belong to the church. My hope and prayer for them is one that they get them fully restored. As I was stating earlier, the wood and brick that's on these homes, they have to be worth something that was real good back then for them to still be holding up the way that they're holding right now with the amount of work that needs to still be done on. The cemetery is right up the street right here, maybe a block away from where we're sitting right now. My understanding that in that cemetery is buried some of the founding members that helped Reverend Daggs. Yes, and no, it's been a long time since I've actually been in there. My vision and goal is to try to be able to get that preserved as well because it needs to be kept. I've been in contact with, I still call her Spring Weary. She provided me some information on the cemetery about a year ago, and I'm in the process now of researching all of that information because I want to add that into the part of my curriculum that I teach on the African American churches here in Hammond. I want to see the best for District 1. I want to see the best for the city of Hammond. But by doing that, by honoring the legacy of those that paved the way at St. James would be a great way to keep things rolling and to get our community involved. So I'm asking those of you now that are watching this video, look for the information that's going to be coming in the days to come on how you could be a part of this process and how you could sow into this process to make this vision come to pass.